All right. So our next performer is, oh, by the way, that young lady that just danced, her name is Noisha Noel. So our next performer is a woman of many talents. She paints, dances, spits word, and she even crafts handmade jewelry. Would you help me welcome to the stage spoken word artist, Miss Nzingah Wilson.
I remember, I remember the void when I lost my child, lost myself, lost my husband, lost my father, lost my brother, lost my sister, lost myself. I remember the void, the tears that came with the void. I remember the betrayal by those who looked like me. It was so hard to believe, so hard to swallow. I remember swallowing water. I remember swallowing water when I remember swallowing water when I jumped. I remember swallowing water when I jumped. I remember leaving the stench of death. I remember embracing. I remember the screams. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember running to the beater drum, running to the beater drum. It was a signal for us to revolt. I remember running to the beater drum. I was the signal for us to revolt. I remember fighting to the beater drum. I remember couper tête pour les tailles. Aïe bobo, liberté or la mort, freedom or death. I remember the betrayal by those who looked like me, those who did not want me to be free. I remember the rope they tied around our necks, the pain from the branding of our chest. I remember the screams. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember Master whipping. I remember Master whipping. I remember Master whipping. Open my womb as I hung from the tree. I remember the screams from birthing babies. I remember longing for home. I remember longing to see my husband's face. I remember the endless tears, the rivers I cried, the oceans I filled with the waters from my eyes. I remember it's so hard to remember. It's so heavy, the pain, the hurt, the loss. It's so heavy to remember. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember freedom. Dumb was I to think that I was free. How dumb was I to think I was free? I remember the illusions of being free. I remember strange fruit hanging from trees. Ghosts in the night that kidnapped, burned, castrated, and skinned. Ghosts in the night that burned, castrated, and skinned. I remember the pointing, the smiles. I remember the spit, the hoses, the beatings. I remember the screams. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember the bars, the bullets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, 60 bullets, ripping into his flesh, ripping into her flesh, ripping into our flesh. I remember the endless funerals. I remember the endless tears, the rivers we cried, the oceans we filled with the waters. Remember my eyes. I remember the screams. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember the boat, the betrayal, the vote, the void, the screams, the cries, the drownings, running to the beater drum, fighting to the dream drum. I remember the lynchings, the burnings, the pointings, the smiles. I remember the spit, the hoses, the beatings. I remember running to the beat of the drum, fighting to the beat of the drum, the bars, the bullets, the funerals, the cries, the tears, the screams. I remember death. I remember dying to come back again and again and again. It was so hard to remember. It's so heavy, the pain, the hurt. It's so heavy. I remember the scenes lost to amnesia. I remember warning, system overload. We lost our tongues, we lost our daughters and sons, we lost the foods that fed ourselves, we lost the stories our griots would tell. We lost the sight to see, the necessity to sankova, 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 sankova. We lost the definition of I. We lost unaccountable seasons flowing towards deserts, rivers running dry. We lost our freedom, but the time will soon come when we sankova, 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 sankova. We lost Queen Nzingah, we lost Nzingah, we lost Nzingah, we lost Nani, we lost Harriet Tubman, we lost mothers, sisters, and daughters, we lost warriors, we lost Imhotep, we lost Shaka Zulu, we lost Dessalines, we lost Marcus Garvey, we lost John Henry Clark, we lost fathers, brothers, and sons. We lost so much that we don't even know. We lost our flow, we lost our love, we lost things undreamed of. We lost the necessity to sankova, 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 sankova. We lost our religion, our culture, our way. We lost the ability to readily connect with our DNA. We lost the essence that linked male and female. We lost so many critical details. Can you hear Mama calling for you to sankova, 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 sankova. How many jails do we have to fill? How many more babies must we kill? How many broken families must we produce? How low do our numbers need to reduce before we sankova? Running away from our nature, praying to a fictional creator when we are the original image of God. Will you continue to say, yes, Master, and not rather than to sankova, 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 sankova. Go back and fetch the foods that fed your soul, sankova. Go back and fetch your purpose. There's so much to you and me, sankova. Go back and fetch and you will see sankova. Go back and fetch and you will see sankova. Go back and fetch and you will see our divine beauty. The fact that we are still here is a testimony to how much we are blessed. We lost. We lost. We lost. But this doesn't have to be the way our story ends. Just let go and sankova. 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 Sankova is a word that comes from Ghana. It means to look at the past to build for the future. It's represented by a bird who is looking backwards, but its feet are forward. So when I was saying sankova, it's the idea that by looking at the past, you can learn from the mistakes as well as the things that were done well so that you can move forward in the future. And it's often a bird with a egg in its mouth, and that represents the future. This is for the woman who was thrown on a boat to a foreign land and despite all of that had the power to stand. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who would carry a child that she would never hold because upon conception that child was sold. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who had a master who raped her every night but never gave up the will to fight. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who had the nerve to escape, refusing to allow slavery to be her ultimate fate. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who came back to bring all her people to the promised land. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who had the nerve to cry revolution at a time time where our voices was not heard because all it takes is one woman for a revolution to occur. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who stood behind the man that everyone saw. Because without her, he couldn't stand so tall. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who are raising her children alone but still able to make a house a home. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman abused by a man but some way, somehow found a way out. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who threw away drugs to find therapy and hugs. This is for the woman. This is for the woman. This is for the woman who can look in the mirror and smile, no longer thinking her beauty is vile. This is for the woman whose trials have brought us strength. This is for the women, 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 the women,